Dukes of Weebdom.
Dukes of Weebdom.
Episode 56. I almost just said 55 after clarifying that it was episode 56. But sorry, I nailed it. Nailed it.
Saved it.
We're back at it with everything, right? There was no breaks for anything this week.
No, not that I know of.
Watch everything be on break next week, and
I'm waiting for Chainsaw Man to hit a break again. There's no way Fujimoto's going to go like a fifth week in a row.
One Piece is on a 3-week break.
Yeah, see, Chainsaw Man's doomed.
Well, One Piece, Oda said he's taking his break because of Akira Toriyama, so.
Yeah, this will be right now, tomorrow will be the 5th week in a row of having Chainsaw Man.
Glorious. Look at us go. Chainsaw Bros.
Chainsaw Bros.
This chapter of Chainsaw Man was okay. I didn't give two fucks about this dude's backstory. The
Eye Patch Guy?
Eye Patch Guy.
Oh, he was lying anyways.
Yeah, 100%. But I'm like, dude. Yeah, and then he's like, maybe my affair with the woman from the office. But that's only lasted 6 months. And then war just takes over.
This piece of crap. I was actually into his little story at first.
I wasn't. I was like, I ain't buying this for a second. But then the weapon hybrids show up, and Asa just starts beating the shit out of Famine to get her to dodge shit.
Yes. Her flopping around.
But, I'm not going to lie. So far, it's not looking too good for our invaders here.
No. I love the shot of Famine getting her face kicked.
Yeah, it was great. Which one? Where is it? Right here, this one. The drop kick to the
Yeah, that exact one.
Bitch, move!
You'd see like the spit and blood coming out of her mouth.
Yes.
But the thing is, Famine could have literally anything up her sleeve.
It's true. We don't know what she's hiding. But it's going to have to be something. Because, I mean, Katana Man got his ass beat the second time. But the first time, he did a lot of ass beating.
The fucking gauntlet.
So,
was it Himeno, Aki, Denji?
Yeah. He just came in there and was like, oh, hey, I'm shooting you in the face.
And then beating your asses.
And then a cut out of cone.
Yep. The song that sets up bingo cards weekly actually saved this bingo card for this chapter.
What are the options?
There's so many. The middle one's Fammy gets ragdolled, though. The free spot.
She did get ragdolled. Quan Chi pulls up at the end of the chapter.
Yoshida shows up.
Yoro pulls out the Room 606 sword. Katana, was that Katana Dash versus Yoro Dash? What the fuck is Yoro?
Is it like a...
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
That's his like main move was when he gets down and does like the quick dash.
Yep.
When he busts out his simple domain.
Oh god, we'll get to that.
Yeah, we sure will.
But yeah, I don't know, man. Cause
Standard 15-page Fujimoto chapter. It was a good one, but it was short-lived.
you think Asa's gonna get her arm back, or she's just permanently bye-bye arm?
I'm guessing just bye-bye arm.
So I guess maybe. Well, because I mean,
her and Chihiro. Damn.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute, because I feel like now I need to go back and reread because I feel like Chihiro had all his appendages the last 2 chapters.
No, he didn't. He had that diagram though, and in his diagram where it showed him filling up the katana and throwing it away, he did have both his arms.
Did he?
Yeah.
Because I completely forgot that he lost one, so I haven't been paying attention. We'll get to that too.
Yes. Teasers today, left and right.
We must have order. Concise. Structured.
we're gonna get like 3 panels of Katana Man fighting, and then it'll be like in 2 weeks Chainsaw Man will be back. There's no way we're getting another one next week. I'm calling it now. There's just no fucking way. We're not that blessed.
Probably not. We got one tomorrow, though.
We do. And I'm so thankful.
But is Yoru having... Well, I don't know if she's left or right-handed, but it's her right arm that's gone.
Yes.
So. No, actually, now that I say that, just curiosity, you think that the dominant, like... Because, you know, here in the United States, like, the majority of people are right-handed.
Yes.
Do you think the majority of people are left-handed in Japan? Because my process of thinking this is because they write right to left, while we write left to right.
If you don't want ink smears, that would make a lot of sense.
Yeah, because my brother's left-handed, and he always, when we were younger, used to complain about that, about how he had to like adjust how he holds the pen so that he doesn't get ink.
1 in 10 people in Japan.
Interesting. Well, it's just a random passing thought that just popped up because of Asa missing her right arm.
Oh wow.
What statistic did you just look up now?
I was looking as if anywhere has more left-handed people than right. It says most humans, 70% to 95% are right-handed. Damn. I always think that'd be upbringing, like whatever you learn to write with.
Yeah, I think, because...
It can't be inherent to human existence.
That's a strange... Yeah, right? It's
Most
not
people weren't even writing until a certain point, like...
Yeah, because there's not any mechanical advantage to your right hand over your left hand.
No, and again, I don't think we've even spent enough time, like, as a majority at least, writing for there to be any evolutionary impact.
Well, because it was... I would say...
Lord knows we haven't needed an appendix in, like, 2,000... Well, like, 1,000 fucking years, and they're still there, so I can't believe that there's some inherent evolutionary right-handedness. Then again, whatever you hold weapons with. It's not like it just comes down to weapons. It just comes down to writing.
But again, too, I feel like that comes down to preference almost.
Yeah, and even back then, there's not that huge education system that was like slapping left-handed people with rulers and shit. Like, it would be whatever you learned it with. Food for thought. Left-handedness on the Dukes of Weebdom.
Yes. Strange topics we get
You
down.
left-handed sinners. Beat the lefty out of you. That's the weirdest like time in human history for me, is that there's like a prejudice against left-handed people.
Yeah, because like you gotta think too, because like Monster Hunter, super random example, but in Monster Hunter Sword and Shield, your sword is in your left hand. In
Holy
every
shit,
Monster
you're
Hunter
right.
game. Yeah, because then you think about it, it's like, say you were right hand dominated. You might want to have your stronger arm holding the heavier shield.
When I think of handedness, I also think your dominant hand has more finesse in general.
Yes, and like dexterity.
Like I put my weight behind my off arm.
Yeah.
But I'd still want my swinging hand to be the one that actually is good at stuff.
Yeah, you're like your dexterity and your wrists and elbows. And
your grip strength, like everything. I'd like, still want my shield on my non-dominant personally.
Yeah, because like doing anything with my left hand just feels extremely awkward.
Icky.
Yes.
Sinful. It feels like the devil's entering my body.
I am possessed. But, I don't know. Food for thought, I guess. But anyway.
Boom.
Asa, missing an arm, I feel like, is no stretch of the means to say that she is extremely disadvantaged against fighting 2 weapon hybrids.
Yes, especially when the weapon hybrids very directly have weapons on each of those arms.
Yes. And then Famine, who is very nonchalant about
She's everything. Like a loot box. She literally could have anything.
Yes, true. But she's also... But she's so hard to read because she's just always just like
Like this, like
she's
vague
like I feel like
indifference.
yeah, and I just feel like too if like the way I put Famine in my mind is like if she speaks, it's all monotoned.
Yes.
There's no excitement.
Just
There's
like
no
a
pitch.
pitch
Different. Yeah, she's just like, yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, it's not even like a disgust.
Yes.
It's like a tiredness and apathy.
Which also just makes her extremely unpredictable.
Yes, she's like my favorite like drawn character he's done lately. I just love that expression on her face all the time. That just
I guess she just looks so fed up.
always. Even when she's talking about happy things, and the way she runs like a fucking loser, like a stick.
We'll see. Who knows what she'll pull out with next? Bullshittery fucking.
The shitting yourself devil. The fear of shitting yourself, which is a real human fear.
What Inumaki should be using his curse technique for.
That's what I'd be using it for. Shit yourself.
Yes, I've seen a YouTube short video about that when against Toto.
I am
Wait,
the clean pantsed one. Shit yourself. But it should be. It's a pretty easy command. You don't have to like really
I don't think you'd
put much of your body into it.
Yeah,
so.
and I don't think it'd strain his voice too much.
No, I think it's a pretty simple one. I dare say it's easier to shit your pants than to stop moving.
Yes.
Yeah, you just let it slide out.
It's just one muscle that you're letting just loosen up and letting things slide out.
See, it should be the lowest amount of cursed energy.
Whereas, if you gotta stop someone moving, you gotta stop all of the muscles in
You
their
gotta
body.
tense up.
Yeah.
Good transition to JJK now.
More Kusakabe gas.
Yes, and the end of Kusakabe gas.
Just to get off-screened.
Yeah, that's the saddest part, is you don't even get to see it happen.
I mean, we can guess what happened.
Yeah.
Get a cleave to the chest.
I still love all the commentary of everyone just being like, he's a good guy. He's a good dude. I hate the fucking power system commentary of this chapter, though. That's for sure.
Just more ways Gege has to change how his simple domain works.
And just more ways for John Worry to fuck it up and make it sound absolutely unlegible. Aiming for a charge to broaden the curse technique target, he's expanded his simple domain.
How's this guy not fired yet?
No, it's...
You know what it is? Because he's probably the only English-speaking person on the JJK team.
Oh, sorry, there is a comment there. Aiming for a charge to broaden the curse technique target, he's expanded his simple domain. I had to read that like 3 times. Like, what the fuck is he on about?
Because I always thought about this too. Because, if there's a translation team, right? And normally it's only one dude's name. So is it just one guy that translates JJK?
Yeah.
Does he translate anything else?
I hope not. Yeah, it's John Wary once again.
So my question is, though, or my idea about it is that Shonen Jump has no fucking idea if he did it right or not. I'm sure this Shonen executives...
And most of them
Probably
don't see
don't
the
speak
English
it.
people calling it out, and
Yeah.
the Japanese people aren't reading English translations.
Yeah, or reading what the English speaking community is talking about, what JJK is about, because they're going to be focused on their community.
The people that they can understand the language being spoken. Hopefully they notice soon. I hope so. I hope that article that came out actually pointing out John Weary blatantly fucking up.
Maybe. I mean, look how long it took for Miss Kobayashi to surface.
Yeah. Yeah. Because that quote they were using with the Miss Kobayashi drama, I'm pretty sure that was from like season 1 or 2.
And how long ago was that?
A while.
Yeah.
Kusakabe. Beastin.
Was that right there?
I think it's him. Because then all the slashes are on him.
No, what I'm saying is that him, like, deflecting his cleaves.
No, I think that's, like, his slashes.
Okay.
It took me a while. I literally went like this when I was reading the chapter. I was like...
Just back and forth.
Yeah, I think it's Kusakabe.
Because that would be way more badass if he was, like...
Because look how surprised Sukuna is, too, as he's getting slashed up.
Yeah.
He's like shook there for a second.
But, I mean, literally did exactly what I thought and continued it with fucking Miguel coming in at the end. It's literally just Sukuna running the gauntlet, and I hate it. It's just to showcase what everyone can do in the series now.
I think my problem is it's just for getting repetitive. Like, could Miguel and fucking Kusakabe team up or something? Like...
It's just like, I have all these characters that people want to see what they're capable of, so I'll just use Sukuna as a punching bag.
I bet you 90% of the fandom fucking forgot Miguel exists.
Probably.
These aren't characters that the fandom wanted to see more of. I mean, I'll take more Miguel. Like,
I saw what Miguel was capable of. He took Gojo's hands and lived.
Yeah, so I'll take more Miguel, but it was absolutely random. For like a character we literally haven't seen this whole arc.
I thought Uyu was gonna fucking die.
I was worried, because again, I've been liking that strategy of sending him in to swoop up the people and bring him back to Shoko. Also, I like that Kusakabe, just like Quan Chi, broke his sword on Sukuna. And I do love the choreography to each part of the fights, though. Kusakabe throwing up his shirt, kicking below where he could cleave through.
Mm-hmm. I was like, damn, Kusakabe.
This part with the open hand stabs.
Yes.
So good. And then him taking a JoJo pose.
I alone am the grade 1.
And the cool extending his own blade. With, like, I'm guessing cursed energy.
Yeah, after it broke.
Yeah. That was easy to read. Damn. Dead.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Apparently, the fan translation, a lot of people were calling it out on Twitter, is for Miguel, where he's like, I don't recognize you. He's like, if you don't know me, you don't belong here. In the Japanese translation, they're saying that he actually calls Sukuna a fraud with the actual word for fraud.
That's hilarious.
If you don't know me, then you're a fraud.
I feel like I read it as a fraud when I read the chapter.
No.
I saw that somewhere.
If you don't... No. That's why we say island folk have antenna with poor reception.
You took...
Fire John Worry!
Fuck you. Oh my
If you
God.
don't meet... No, well, actually, he took fraud as you don't belong here.
So Miguel was saying that to Sukuna, right?
Yeah.
Ugh. That guy's bad, huh?
Yeah. It just gets worse and worse. It's a constant nobody liked that.
Does he have a Twitter page? Does he acknowledge the fact that he's bad?
No. At least I haven't seen it. That man's probably hiding. I would be. I actually commented that once too. I was like, if I was John Worry, I wouldn't even show my face in the daylight.
All right, so he does it for the mobile app. Does that mean, though, what he translates is going into the volumes?
I'm like 90% sure he's just like the official translator for JJK. I don't know if they do another pass before the volumes are printed, though.
I hope so.
I hope so for that horrible mistake he made where he called, where he said Malevolent Shrine adapts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you read any more Astro Baby?
No, I did not.
Oh, shot to the heart.
I also didn't read Kaiju's B-side.
That's fine. It was alright.
Who was it about?
More Shinomiya.
Oh, okay.
Testing out a weapon, fighting some crabs.
Some crabs.
Crabs.
Wild Strawberry was alright.
It was alright. Yeah, pretty much. Finished out the fight nicely. Pulled a very Demon Slayer ending. It was very Demon Slayer coded to me. We're
Oh,
connected to the plant, got its rich backstory of how it became a plant monster, and then it dissipated peacefully as Kingo understood his struggles.
yeah.
It very much was. I immediately thought of Demon Slayer. The moment he was face to face with the Jinka as the child he was before he turned, I was like, Demon Slayer.
We'll be friends, you and us.
Yes, in the next, if there's another life, I was like, this is so Demon Slayer. Not in a bad way. That's something I like about Tanjiro's character. It's forever entangled with Tanjiro now in my mind.
Right.
We'll be friends, you and us.
Oh, dude, I don't know what it is, and I don't think it's been announced yet, but there's some kind of news coming for Tokyo Ghoul on its 10th anniversary.
Don't get too hyped.
Speculation is like, everyone's talking about a remake, and I'm like, that would be awesome, but I highly doubt it.
Yeah, don't get too hyped. It could just be like a stage adaptation.
Or, we're releasing
new live action movie.
We're releasing a special bundle for the first couple of volumes.
Yeah.
Buy now.
That fucking Code Geass collector's edition.
No, you know what it's gonna be? We've teamed up with Netflix to make a live action of Tokyo Ghoul.
We were so impressed by the One Piece one.
Isn't there another one that was just announced too? Parasite's
Fallout.
coming. Fallout? As in like Fallout New Vegas 76, that Fallout?
Yeah, it's gonna get a TV show. I knew about it for a while, but they finally started putting out trailers for it. There's like a holy trinity of live actions that are coming in the future that I've known about for years, and all three of them I cannot wait to shit all over them. It was Fallout, which actually is looking better than I thought it'd be. Borderlands, which I still haven't watched the trailer because there's just no way it's going to be good. I want to go in blind.
Well,
to the shit pool it's going to be.
Well, yeah, they got fucking what's his name?
I think they got Jack Black in it somewhere.
He's Clapjack. And again, though, why didn't you just get the original voice actor for Claptrap?
It's literally
no hate on Blackjack.
Actually,
Black,
there is a lot of drama with the original voice actor of Claptrap. He and Randy Pitchford got into like a very big fight. He got replaced for Borderlands 3.
Who's Randy?
The CEO of Gearbox.
Oh. Okay. Anyway,
but still, they should have gotten the Borderlands 3 one in that case. Yeah.
All right. Well,
it shouldn't have been a celebrity. Like you could have really saved money there.
His face is literally right in my face. He's a very popular comedian.
Kevin Hart?
Yes, Kevin Hart's in it too. And I'm like, and he's playing Roland or something. It's like,
it's gonna be garbage.
I was like, what? No, there is no universe where Kevin Hart can do the character of Roland justice. I'm sorry, Kevin Hart, but just you ain't got it in you.
I want to slap the person who even pitched a live-action Borderlands. I want to slap the smug off their face.
I also have zero faith that the Fallout is going to perform well because people are going to just look at it and be like, "Oh, this is just another Last of Us," because that's basically what it kind of is going to be. Just it's a post-apocalyptic world.
It is
with monsters.
Yeah, but I mean it's very different focus. Last of Us, they're trying to cure a disease. Fallout, you're just kind of existing. Like there's nothing to fix in Fallout.
True.
That's why I'm also wondering what the story's going to be like for Fallout. Are they going to just adapt one of the game stories, or are they going to try to write their own? If they try to write their own, it's probably going to be garbage. But the third in the holy trinity of bad pitches at the boardroom, BioShock. There's either a BioShock TV show or movie in the works. And I
just don't think that works.
Yeah, I've been very loud on my stance that BioShock relies on being a video game to have a good story. The twist in the game is all about being like playing a video game. Though I do think BioShock has the most legs to make a story out of, because you could do like the building of Rapture. You could show like The Downfall, or when Andrew Ryan fucking like went crazy nutto. Like there's a lot there you could adapt, whereas Borderlands, I think there's nothing. It's a big box of nothing. I don't know. I will watch Borderlands because I can't wait to hate watch it. I'm already ready to hate watch Borderlands.
I don't think I'm going to. I'll hear from you. How about that?
You know, it's funny. All of my life, I avoid watching bad movies. I take pride in seeing that a movie's going to be shit and then swerving away from it. But this time, I'm going to do it. This time, I am going to hate watch something. But like Death Note live action, Dragon Ball live action, the first Avatar live action, and this one, I just, if it doesn't look good, why am I going to subject myself to it?
Yeah.
But this time is different because I knew it was the worst pitch in mankind, and I have to see it through.
Well, good luck with that.
Maybe I'll even put out a review.
Well, I'm sure we'll be talking about it on here.
Oh, we will.
Well, correction. You will be.
Yes, I'll catch you up on how awful it is. There's just nothing to fucking adapt.
For Borderlands, right?
Yeah. There's no way whoever was in the room pitching it played fucking Borderlands. Because they would have been able to raise their hand and say, hey, that's a stupid idea.
First off, you have to nail Handsome Jack. And you're not going to be able to do that.
No.
Because the part of Handsome Jack that made Handsome Jack cool was that he was interacting with you while you were doing other shit. How do you do that in a live action thing? Because the live action is not a live action video game.
No.
So what are they going to do? You're walking by and Handsome Jack just appears on a TV next to you talking to you?
The other thing is, too, Borderlands looks ridiculous. There's no way I'm going to be able to buy into the costuming.
Well, I mean, again, there's cosplayers out there that make it look like they came right out of the game.
It's true, but that's not who they employ.
No, it's not. Sadly. Because some of those people are just fucking insanely talented, and then you just see the makeup artists on these multi-million-dollar budget projects, and you're just like, who approved this?
You should just remind me. I just started another show with my partner. The Imperfects. I think it's on Netflix. It's
I feel like I've heard of it.
It's like a bunch of teenagers who get superpowers through trying to treat like their diseases. So in some ways they're like super disabled, but there's superpower side effects. It has Luffy in it. The live action Luffy.
Oh, nice.
Itagaki. He is a chupacabra. He literally turns into it.
Wow.
But I was going to say, it's like, I really like the show. I like the actors, I like the writing. But it's this weird switch up lately where I like, instead of the writing being really shit, the effects department is mostly shit. The Chupacabra looks really good, but the problem is every scene transition is absolutely terrible. They're all like Adobe After Effects, like it swooshes or zooms as it transitions.
So I can forgive certain stuff like that if like other things are good. For instance, Witcher Season 1. The costume design...
Yes, I do remember that when it first
was super good when it came out. Leading up to it...
Yeah, I remember when it was first coming out, everyone was like, oh no, oh no, oh no.
I mean, I forget the Empire's name, but the Empire armor, the black guys...
I've never played The Witcher.
I know. This makes me sad. But their armor still just looks like shriveled up black testicles painted black.
Yeah.
And it still looks like that. It was much more cool in the game. But, like, Geralt's armor looks dope. All of the citizens, the villagers' armor looks dope. The sets are cool. It's like, okay, practical effects are really good. But then there's an episode with the dragon in it. And boy, let me tell you.
Bad?
That was bad. But it was still cool.
Yeah.
Because I was like, okay, I get it. You can't have, everything. Money is a thing. So it's like the effects of the dragon were shit. But the story that followed that episode was good.
That's
very enjoyable. So it's like...
That's why I'm kind of surprised their budget allowed for actually a nice-looking Chupacabra.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's
right.
I'm going to show you this.
Me and my partner were terrified leading up to the reveal because the first couple episodes, it doesn't show you, like, on camera. It just hints that he's turning into something and killing stuff.
Yeah.
But when you finally see it, like, up front, me and him were both like, whoa, that's kind of hot. Ooh. Ew. Why does it have, like, so much man face to it?
Because he, for most of it, was a man. He turns into the dragon. That's him right there, actually. That's the dragon.
Ew.
But...
Ew.
That's what it's not. It's bad, yeah. But again, the story.
It's enough,
dude. It's like
also like a scene. I'm assuming.
Yeah, it's like a minute and a half scene.
Yeah.
So it's like, why are they gonna spend?
Trust me. Again, I've been getting over these horrible scene transitions in the show to be able to watch it, and their horrible timing with music. I've not seen such bad timing with music too.
It makes me sad that they ran this series into the ground because season 1 of The Witcher is so fucking good, dude.
I would consider watching it just because I've like Henry Cavill at this point. Every time I hear something about Henry Cavill, it makes me like him more. But God, I'm just so happy with it.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
I expected them to just do some like Teen Wolf shit, like put a little fuzz on him.
Oh God!
But then no, you finally see it. I'm like, I have a new lover.
Season 1 of The Witcher's slaps. I'm not gonna lie, I was not the biggest fan when I first heard that Henry Cavill was gonna be Geralt.
I also wasn't because I just see him as the Superman.
Yes. And
very clean cut. But then when you finally see him, when he's like full wardrobe, full makeup, it's like, oh.
And then he speaks, and you're like, oh. Because then you hear, it's like, yeah, he's read all of the Witcher books. And he's also played all of the games.
Good, he dirties up really good.
So he combined the book, like, because book Geralt and video game Geralt are two different things.
Yeah.
So he combined the two of them together to make his own Geralt, and it just works so good.
I just love that his fucking Geralt, like, created the term of, like, dirtying up good.
Yes. But then it's like, it just pisses me off because it's like, greedy executives, they decided to bring the story in a different route, and he's like, listen, you're straying away from the books, which is what we wanted to stick to, because the games stray away from the books in certain aspects, and the author is notorious for not liking the games because he feels, his quote is that video games cannot tell a story. He is completely against the ability for video games to be able to tell a story.
Boo.
Yeah. But
the same avarice that led the Halo show to its demise.
Yes. So now the show writers are doing their own thing, and Henry Cavill is
left.
Yeah.
Yeah, he completely left.
So he did. I haven't even watched season 3 because that's the one that broke him, and I'm like, I don't think it's going to be good.
Why waste your time?
Yeah.
That's always my go-to.
And I haven't seen anything about season 3. It's been out forever, and I've never seen a scene from it. I've never seen anyone talking about it. Nothing.
I've seen people talking about it, but only to talk about the Henry Cavill drama and how.
I heard people, like, before it was coming out, like, all the lead up, and like, all.
Is Blood Dragon? Not Blood Dragon. There was another Blood Origin.
It was shit.
Yeah, I heard a lot about that one.
Me and my wife watched it.
Yeah, I heard a lot about that. I don't know if that's season 3 or not.
It's completely separate.
Okay.
It's supposed to be.
So I also heard nothing about season 3 then.
I
heard a lot about Blood Origin though.
Supposed to be that you see the first Witcher in there, and it's like the conjunction of spheres, the first one that made.
I hate that term. What a horrible fucking. What a dorky ass bullshit that is. The conjunction of spheres. Get the fuck out of here with that. Come back when you write something cool.
I think it's cool.
Conjunction of spheres. No. I hate it.
Why?
Because it sounds so dorky. Is it just two spheres coming together? Is this an eclipse?
No, it's multiple universes clashing together. It's what brought magic.
That's
into
not
the
metal
world.
enough, then. The conjunction of spheres.
Because, like, picture the spheres being different worlds.
Yeah.
And then they all clash together, and that's how you got
That's
monsters into the... Because it was just supposed to be like a normal medieval world, and then when the conjunction spheres happened, magic was introduced, monsters, and other
I just think conjunction's such
bullshit.
I think that's my problem, is such a...
It's just the conjoining of the spheres.
Grossly... I don't know the word I want to use. Neutral tone, I guess.
Well, anyway, that's
sanitized.
That's what Blood Origin was supposed to be about, but it was just bad.
It sounds like something a person with gigantic glasses and buck teeth would tell me. And then the conjunction of spheres happened, and there's fucking monsters are there from the conjunction.
I don't mind it. I like it.
It's not metal enough for me.
No, well. I don't remember anything that happened to Blood Origin, but all I can remember the entire time me and my wife were watching it, we were both talking to each other about how bad what we were watching was.
Brutal.
It's super forgettable, other than the lingering effects of that was bad. And everyone agreed, so far as I'm aware.
Yeah,
everyone that I've seen
step up to bat for it.
No, I've only heard people saying bad things about it. So.
And that's the conjunction of spheres, y'all.
That's The Witcher. And it makes me sad because it's not going to be any more Witcher video games. At least not with Geralt, anyway. If they make another one, they've said Geralt's story is done.
That's fair, though. I'm sure if you give it another decade, they will remake the first two. Because, like, nobody plays them.
I remember seeing scenes for The Witcher 2 when it was coming out. I was like, that game looks badass. But it was for the Xbox.
They're very... Back then, the first two were very much, like... Had their feet in, like, the PC controls ground.
Yeah. Like Dragon Age 2. Or Dragon Age Origins, rather.
Dragon Age 2, my PTSD triggered.
And then there was the glory that is The Witcher 3.
Yes.
That game is so fucking good. And still holds up
I
to
won't
this
even
day.
pretend I'll get around to playing it at this point.
It's a long-ass game, too. So
Fuck.
you have way too many single-player RPGs to deal with right now.
Yeah, I'm playing their other game. Cyberpunk.
Yeah, Cyberpunk. There's actually hints in The Witcher that Ciri has been to the Cyberpunk.
Ooh.
Because she can travel universes and shit. And one of the conversations she has with Geralt, she says how she went to a world... how'd she describe it? Because she describes it in a way that Geralt would try to understand it, but he still didn't. She didn't straight up say, yeah, I went to a world where there were flying machines and people put things in their head to... like chips in their head to communicate.
And the magic spoke of the beverages in the town.
Not that dumbed down, but she was like, there are machines that flew. Something about, it's just super futuristic stuff. Yeah. And it's basically describing Cyberpunk 2077.
I fucking love that game.
And Geralt's like, yeah, sure thing, Ciri.
Found a banging side quest in that game. Found like a big trash yard where all the junk is, and like I saw a side quest out deep into the trash. I'm like, there's nothing out here, but I'm still gonna go check on that side quest. And you come up to a cooler, and just the start of the side quest is to pop it open. The corpse of the guy who crashed the first internet is just in there. Somebody, either he died there or someone offed him while he was there.
I'm going to say because he's inside a cooler with the door closed that he didn't put himself there.
Well, there's also like when people that like jack into the net need to like cool their body while they do it. So he could have just been like finding somewhere secluded to do it from.
Makes sense.
But at the same point, that's where my body was dropped off when they tried killing me. So it's also like, could be either one.
Did you complete this quest?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I found Cyberdeck, which is what I use to hack people on his body. I need to go get it decrypted.
To then find out like more info, maybe.
That or use it.
Hopefully, use it.
Yeah, because my partner inferred that I could use it, so I'm hoping I pick whatever right options that end with me having it and usable.
There you go.
I just thought it was cool to find him though, because I've been seeing like little logs here and there. Like there's one log of a fan of his watching as his program destroyed the internet.
Are you in the DLC doing DLC stuff yet, or is DLC post game like after story, or is it just like
it's one
here's
of those,
a new area, do new stuff?
There's a new area with like new stories, so I could go there whenever, but I'm probably just gonna make a second character and go straight there. Just to level up a different build, yeah. Because there's so many different builds, and so many of them sound fun. There's one for jumping around and throwing weapons in people's heads. And I'm like, I'm gonna try that one.
They should. I know you said they added a drink and some stuff, but it would have been cooler if they added more edge runners, like Easter eggs in there.
I do know you can get the implant that David has, the Sandevistan, the one that like makes him super super fast.
Is there only one of those, so you're getting literally his, or is it one?
I think there's probably more than one. Yeah, because I see perks that actually like tie into the Sandevistan. That's the one where I always describe it as it slows down time enough that you can get out of your car, kill a bunch of people, and get back in your car.
Because that'd be cool if you like. I mean, obviously this is going too far, but like if you just like walked into a bar somewhere and Lucy was just sitting there taking a drink.
I actually found the spaceport. There was nothing there. There was no quest or anything, and it was like a 5-minute drive on this one bridge to get there. But I still went there. God damn it! Because at the end of the Edge Runners, Lucy fulfills her dream. She goes to the spaceport and goes to the moon. So I just like, I'm going there. I'm going to see this fucking spaceport. And then like every moment in Cyberpunk, I'm going to cause trouble by killing people. GTA forever.
Well, I mean, that's true. I mean, if they allow you to go to the moon at some point, then...
That would rock. I wish they would support this game longer, because I'm pretty sure they're done supporting Cyberpunk now. I think they said after the DLC that they're just moving on. And that breaks my heart, because a Moon DLC would have been fucking amazing.
For real.
But it makes you wonder what CD Projekt Red's even going to do next. They said they don't want to do more Witcher. They just did Cyberpunk.
I don't, because it was kind of vague, but they're basically, because there may be more Witcher.
Oh yeah,
but if it is, it'd be with a different Witcher.
Then my bet is more Witchers coming then next. Because I doubt they're going to go right to like another Cyberpunk sequel right away. Or at least they shouldn't. It's already so much in that game to...
Maybe they'll try a new IP?
Maybe. Just don't know where else they could go with it unless they go like Old West.
But then they're just copying Red Dead Redemption.
It's not a bad thing.
No.
I think Red Dead Redemption actually has like a lot of room to be a better game.
I just want a true space exploration game. Like a real good one. I want space battles. Like in Battlefront 2. But also...
No Man's Sky does have space battles.
Does it?
Yeah. I don't know if they're...
Good space battles?
I mean, I've dogfought a couple ships. I haven't done anything like Battlefront 2 style, where there's like a fleet and like a main carrier that you can dock into or anything, but I fought like...
See, that's what I want. I want like
I did some like bounty hunting.
Like beginning of Revenge of the Sith-esque space battles.
I would love that.
Or like, you know those old pirate games where you just like come across boats and you just like sink the... Or like Black Flag. Just like out in the ocean, but instead of the ocean, you're in space. And then suddenly you're like, oh, there's another ship. Let me just fuck it up and steal all its loot. Make me customize my own spaceship into whatever I want.
Because you can do shit like that in No Man's Sky.
You know, how freely customizable is the craft?
That's the problem. It doesn't have like the freely making a ship.
Damn.
But any ship you find crashed or anything, you can fix it up and claim it as your own. You can sell ships to people to buy their ship. Not like human players, like NPCs.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting. But
I just find No Man's Sky is a very long commitment. Like, I don't feel like I put in enough time in the game, and it's hard for me to want to go back when I know how expansive it is. Like, I'm like, to get the most out of this game, I'm going to have to put in so much time.
Yeah, it's a bigger pro than it is a con of single player games nowadays, that they're just like,
You can really lose yourself in them.
they're like 100-hour games now, which is honestly a good thing, because like the problem of like a 40-hour game being beaten in like 3 days.
It's a good thing some of the times. It's a
Some
good thing for like
times.
Cyberpunk, because I look at Cyberpunk as like an evolution of Spider-Man 2 back on like the old console, where like I wanted to just run around the city. In Cyberpunk, I want to just run around. Every time you drive to a quest, it gives you the option to like skip time and go there. I don't. I just drive because it's just fun to go around the city. So like that's where I see it as, yes, this is an absolute improvement. And like all things where I see it's a downgrade, we go to Ubisoft. Everything Ubisoft does.
Yes.
That's when more time is a bad thing.
Everything Ubisoft does
Today.
the last couple of years, probably last like 10 years.
10 years, yeah. I want to track this back down to even Assassin's Creed 3 onward. No, Black Flag onward.
Syndicate onward.
Yeah, not including Black Flag. Everything past Black Flag. See, if you liked Syndicate, I don't think Syndicate did well.
Most people don't like it, but I do. It was the last good single-player Assassin's Creed in my book.
Hey, 93% like this video game.
Where is... Oh, 2015. So yeah, 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Anything after Syndicate. Because after Syndicate, the next one after that is the new style with Origins.
2015? When did Far Cry 3 come out?
Is that also by...
Guess what I found?
2012. Yeah, because that was the last good Far Cry game, in my opinion. Or at least the only Far Cry game that was good to begin with.
Far Cry what?
3.
3?
Specifically, yeah. And I didn't even finish that game. Because I think Far Cry is the bigger problem with how Ubisoft evolved. Because Far Cry was all about those map markers fucking everywhere. More than Assassin's Creed ever was. Because every fucking herb, every fucking crafting thing, all the outposts, it was all Far Cry had. Whereas Assassin's Creed actually had some like good story quests to it. Far Cry was the go here and clear an outpost game.
Oh boy. I thought Far Cry was, I don't even know, actually, what I was going to say, because I've never played any of the Far Cry games.
I've played
Felt like it was
3 and
just-
Primal.
I forgot about Primal.
Yeah, most people do. I wish I could.
I just remember one of them was on an island, and it felt like you were, like, stranded on the island, and then there were people there or something.
Yeah, it's Far Cry 3 and 4. And probably 1 and 2 also. But not 5.
Oh.
Because 5's America.
Okay. America. Strange, but...
Yeah, liberating the island, you're like going through, clearing outposts. I mean, there's still story quests, and I think the story of Far Cry is actually pretty good. I think it gets really lost in all the side garbage. I think Far Cry would make a great linear game if they had the balls to make it linear. Just bring me through the story, please.
I'll just play Tomb Raider.
I think that's a better choice.
I never...
Like, it feels good to play. I just get so bored so fast of Far Cry.
Yeah.
I clear like 2 outposts. I'm like, am I gonna want to play like 40 more hours of this? Not really. I think I got the whole experience by playing the first 10 minutes. Whereas the good long games don't feel that way.
No. Like Rebirth.
No, someday.
I just beat it Friday night.
Did the Nomura fuck the ending? Did Nomura fuck anything up? Spoiler alert for Rebirth.
So, there's one aspect I don't think you would like. But it's not as bad as the first one. So you don't... I mean, you said spoilers, so you don't care if I spoil you. Okay, so spoiler
If anything,
for the
it's going to help
ending...
inform if I want to play this game or not.
Right, so spoiler alert for the ending of Rebirth. Like, the whole latter half. So, One thing that they did do, which I'm kind of on board for, is they amped up Cloud's, like, insane factor, like, way higher. Like, he's going so far off the deep end right now, so much so that Aerith does die.
Yeah.
But he thinks she's still alive. It's like, so, this is what happens. And he's you know how at the beginning of 7, he's a total dickbag.
Yeah.
It's like, they didn't really play into that much in Remake, and not even in the beginning of Rebirth.
There's a little bit of there in Remake.
It's a little bit, yeah, but it's not, like, as bad as original
It is
7.
Cloud trying to project that he doesn't give a shit.
It gets really bad at towards the end when they're in the temple in this game. So, like, they all get targeted by the temple, the Cetra temple, to go through their own trial. So everyone goes off to the thing, but it doesn't select Cloud. So Cloud just has to sit there and wait. And you play as each one of those people and relives their most traumatic event in their life. So Red 13, when he got captured by Hojo's dudes and Hojo, so you see his experiments being done to him.
He fed the Nibelheim reactor, I presume.
Yep. Barrett with losing his, I don't know if it's wife or girlfriend, and Village when his reactor situation in his hometown went down. Yuffie losing her. So he calls her captain, so whoever he is to her, I didn't play the Yuffie DLC, so I don't know who he was, but I know he's dead.
Yeah.
And Aerith losing her mother. So you go through all of that thing. So everyone comes out, and they're all super depressed. They all got their heads down, and Aerith goes through this huge monologue trying to cheer everybody up. Like, very, like, we can't let ourselves get down, you know, we have each other type thing. All positive reinforcement. And then Cloud, who looks right at her and says, "Are you done yet? Let's go. We got shit to do." And it's obvious, like, anyone with a brain can see that everyone, because they're all one step away from crying. Like, all of them.
Are you done yet?
They're all not saying anything. No one's looking at each other. They're all looking at the ground. And Aerith brings them all up. And it's like, then Cloud's. But then he's also been doing that. He's straight up murdering people.
Damn.
And on the way, cut someone down, and they don't. No one's saying anything. Just kind of like, "Yo, bro, you alright?" And he just like turns to him. He's like, "I'm not like Sephiroth." It's like, you just literally killed the dude in the exact, like, stabbed him and lifted him up, just like Sephiroth does. And then it's like, got the blood splatter on his face and everything. Just wipes it off, and it's like, bro, you're murderizing people. So then it gets to the part where Aerith is praying, and I'm like, looking at the sky. Where is he? I know he's in here. And then it does. You see Sephiroth floating above, coming down with the sword drawn to impale Aerith. And Cloud sees him up there, and he did actually, before that, they changed another thing too. Because it's more they added something. So I was like, because it's very confused in the Cetra temples. Things were happening, and I'm like, is this where Aerith's gonna die? Nope. Is this where she's gonna die? They kind of tease you a lot.
Yeah.
They also, I don't know if it was the timey-wimey weird shit that's going on, but there were two inconsistencies in the end that I saw. But I'll get to those in a minute. There's a point where Sephiroth's kind of like controlling Cloud, kind of, to get the black materia from Aerith. So, like, he's going after, and it's like, oh, they're going to change it so Cloud kills Aerith, or whatever. I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting. But he goes to, like, very closely to kill her, and then he kind of snaps back into it as she's, like, falling off this thing. He jumps and catches her, but then Sephiroth comes up and, like, cuts the branch that they're on. They both fall. And then I thought something, again, this is where the weird thing is. This is the part that you're probably not going to like, because this ties into things. It kind of, like, happens a few times at the end, and it's all conjoined. So Zack's been walking around in that thing the whole time, that, like, other plane that feels like it's the life stream, and I'm pretty sure that it is.
Ooh, I'm gonna feel so vindicated.
So the whole thing about that place, because it seems like you're in Midgard, because it is, and it's in the events after the first game. The only difference is you look at the sky and it's this yellow rip or tear in the whole length of the sky. Like the world is ending, and that's what the NPCs are literally talking about it. They're like, it's the end of the world. And they all act like that, like through the whole time you're there. So when Cloud and Aerith fall off this cliff, it's a very far fall, Cloud and Aerith's body has been there the whole time. Zack's taking care of him. He's washing Cloud's body. He's taking care of Aerith's body. They're both in the room in Aerith's house. They wake up in that room, Aerith and Cloud. So I'm like, okay, but Zack is conveniently not there. He had already left to go do something else. So it's like, oh, are we going to meet Zack here? What's going on? And they're walking around, and they go on a little date with each other. So I'm like, but Aerith is acting super weird. She knows what's going on, but she's not telling anyone what's going on. So I'm like, oh shit, she's fucking dead. And she's trying to get Cloud to like wake up and be like, it's okay, move on. They go through like a small mini date. She asks him to buy him some stuff, and they go through this. I'm like, oh shit, fucking Aerith is dead right now. She's not. So they both end up waking up. It's a very kind of like weird kind of habit. So I still don't know exactly what that world is, but it's probably most likely the live stream. So they end up coming back, but then Aerith isn't there when he wakes up, so he has to like go find her. And she's leaving them to go pray at the temple. So now Cloud's back in it, and he's like, okay, let's go get Aerith. Cloud goes in alone. They help. There's some stuff that they go in. He's going there, and he comes up to her praying. She's not paying attention to him. She doesn't know he's there. She's just deep in prayer, trying to talk to the live stream. Black material bullshit. Sephiroth comes down for the Hell's Gate, but this is where you get your first glimpse that Cloud has something a little wrong with him, because it happened. Two things happen. The first thing is Cloud stops Sephiroth from killing Aerith. He blocks the attack, but it flashes real quickly. And it shows that it connected, and Aerith was cut out. So it did it twice. So it's like, oh, what's going on? But then all of a sudden, Cloud's standing by himself, and then he turns around and he looks over there, and Sephiroth is over there with his sword in Aerith. Then he pulls it out, and she falls to the floor. And then Cloud kind of comes over to her. She's not talking, nothing. She's just out, and he's with her. And then he's like, okay, it'll be okay. Talking to her, like, it'll be fine. She kind of like looks up to him, and then there's like flashes. There's no blood anywhere. Yeah. But there's flashes of like that Cloud's been going through. It's like kind of staticky, and he gets like that headache, and it flashes on your screen where the blood is. So it's like, oh, Cloud's like blocking the blood out. So he's thinking that it's not as bad as it is. Yeah. Like there's no blood on Sephiroth's sword. There's no blood on his hands when he's touching her. There's no blood on her or on the ground, but it's flashing and showing blood. So it's like, okay, so maybe Cloud's just trying to push away. So he thinks he's okay, and then you go, the final sequence boss battle starts.
Which against Sephiroth, I presume?
Yes, but it's kind of cool the way they did it, because you're actually fighting the second form of Sephiroth from the end of of the original game, where you fight him in 3 parties of 3. And different sides of him. Or is it the first form? No, it's first form, because you fight him like that, then you fight him together when he's like the angel thing, and then you fight him as just Cloud with the shirtless Sephiroth. But so you do that one, you fight one party with, or is it teams of 2? I don't remember. You fight Genova first, at some point too. Another Genova copy. But so Zack is doing some stuff during all of this too, and this is where I'll bring up the 2 inconsistencies with story that I don't know if they forgot to delete a certain segment out of the game when making it. So when you first get to the temple, you're with Cid and Vincent, and they're not part of the party, and they're not even like Red 13 where they fight with you or anything like that. Cid tells you when he drops you off, I can't do anything to help you here. I'll stay with the boat. Stay here. You guys go ahead. You go ahead. You get to the top, there's some bullshit soldiers there. You kill the soldiers, and then you walk up to the door. But then Sid's there in the cutscene again. I was like, weren't you just waiting there? And he has the cutscene just to tell you that he's not going to go in the temple with you again. He'll wait out here and keep the engines running. I was like, but you literally just said that like 30 seconds ago. So I was like, okay, maybe the devs forgot to like eliminate the first half, or it was...
Or didn't think they put that in.
Yeah.
One cutscene guy didn't talk to the other cutscene guy.
Right. So I was like, okay. But then it happens with Zack, too. When you see Zack again, he's sitting on his motorcycle between two crossroads. He can go left or right. And he's pointing. He goes, all right, left is Biggs at Reactor 6, who's going to blow it up. To the right is Hojo for a cure for Cloud. Which way do I go? He's like, all right. So he goes off to Hojo, up the top. As he does, a flash of light comes out the other tunnel when he like goes away. So like, okay, that's weird. Then he goes up there. And when he gets into like Shinra Tower, he's fighting a bunch of soldiers. He's like, you guys aren't going to block me, all right? I ain't in for the mood for this shit. And he's going to fight to get to Hojo. But then the next time you see him, which is like 5 minutes later, he's walking up to Biggs. And it's like, I thought you chose the other way. So it's like, that part is confusing. It's like, because they're two separate directions. So
every time you've mentioned Zack, I've cringed.
Yeah. Well, you're about to cringe some more.
Uh-oh.
Because, like I said, everyone pairs up with somebody to fight Sephiroth. Cloud pairs with Zack. Yeah, so Zack, because Cloud and Sephiroth, like, go into that, like, a space after Aerith, like, the black materia is doing some shit. And they're kind of there, and I forget, actually, how is that kind of... Something to do with Aerith's church in the... I don't know. They were together, but then Cloud is, like... Because then Zack disappears in, like, a ghost way, and, like, he, like, disappears in front of Cloud. So Cloud probably assumes that it's, like, whatever dimension that they're in. So he doesn't think, oh, Zack came from the dead to fucking help me. So he does Cloud again. Cloud is very oblivious to what's actually going on. He just doesn't care. He just fights Sephiroth. So you beat Sephiroth, and he literally just flies away. He's like, all right, I got what I wanted. I'm peacing out. Goodbye. And he just flies away. And then Cloud goes up to Aerith, and she's fucking dead. But he picks her up, and her eyes open up, and he says, it's going to be okay. And then everyone comes up, and they see them together, and everyone's all super sad about it. So then it flashes ahead a little bit. Now they're somewhere else in the temple. And they're all sitting around the lake, where in the original game, Cloud carries Aerith out into it and lays her to rest. Aerith is nowhere to be seen now. You don't see her again for a while. And everyone is there super sad about it. Cloud, gets up and is like, everyone leaves. And then it's the end of the game, and it's like a super high-tech end, what do you call it, cutscene, CGI cutscene. And they're all standing in the field, and Sid's fixing the thing, the tiny Bronco, so it'll fly. And everyone's fucking in their own area. Tifa's crying by herself with Red 13 sitting next to her, kind of like on her head on her shoulder, trying to comfort her. But Cloud is just over there, and he's looking down, and it shows them. Aerith's not there, and it shows Cloud, and he's sitting there. He says some stuff to himself, and then he looks back, and he sees Aerith down there with everybody. And she goes to each person, but doesn't say anything to them, and they don't interact with her at all. And then she goes up to Red 13, she like puts her hand on him, and he's like, Aerith, or whatever, kind of like maybe he felt her, but then nobody says anything to her. They all board the thing except Cloud, and Cloud talks to her.
I was going to say, doesn't Red 13 have like a connection to the Ancients in some way?
Well, with the Gi more specifically.
I don't know his backstory all that great, to be honest, because as you know, I haven't played much of the original 7.
Well, if you play this one, there's an entire chapter dedicated strictly to his backstory.
I did make it to like his village where you learn his true name, but
Nanaki.
Yeah,
so all of it will be there. So it's like the Gi is like the people that made the black materia. Oh, Cloud stole it.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it kind of rolled down, and it was like this big thing. He was going to take it. He was even going to fucking kill one of the party members is like, I'm fucking taking this shit. It's like going crazy. And then it lands next to him and he pockets it.
It makes me worry that they're going to make Cloud into Sephiroth.
I think that's what Sephiroth's trying. But I think what they're doing is trying to build up to that point where he has that mental break where Tifa helps him. Because he thinks Sephiroth's alive and she's totally not fucking alive. Unless she's part of the live stream and somehow because of Cloud's that the thing...
He somehow has a connection to see it.
Yeah. But everyone, like, it doesn't show the funeral thing for her. It doesn't show her body. He talked to her when she was already very much dead, and she opened her eyes, said a few words, and then closed them again. So it's like...
You're right that I do hate, like, all of this, by the way.
So
You're absolutely right.
It's playing it up that Cloud is going insane.
I like that aspect of it, but I don't think it's worth shattering the original moments of the game in a remake of the game.
Yeah.
Like, I think you could have pulled off having the iconic scenes and having Cloud's mental break being worse. Like, you could have had your cake and ate it too. I don't know why they sacrificed the iconic scenes for that.
What I think is because Cloud's like, it's definitely more noticeable in this game than the first one, because this is the one where it's starting to expand on past events and stuff like that Cloud shouldn't know about or wasn't there for. So Cloud's inconsistencies in his own stories are really starting to come out in this game. And they're really not trying to hide it as much as they did in the original game.
I am starting to think it is less bad faith than I used to. Where I don't think they're going into this to change the plot entirely. I think they're going into this to say, hey, we didn't build up the Zack and Cloud crazy storyline enough. How do we make that more of the forefront?
Yeah, so what I think is that
the Wraiths do not give me hope in that theory, though.
Yeah, they play so they're still around in this one, but like they're more of like in this game. In the first game, they're more like the whispers of fate that guide. In this one,
/
it's more,
time police.
Yeah,
in a way.
In this one, it's more. It's like they're because there's white and black ones in this one, and it's like. The black ones are the will of Sephiroth's ability, and the white ones are the planet's will fighting against it. So it's not like...
I like that more.
So it's not really like these guys are... But I don't know what the fuck they're doing with
They
those
give
things.
me less hope of being right, that they're just trying to boost the Zack plotline to be more congruent.
Yeah.
Because you could say if there wasn't enough of the Zack plot, from what I saw, in the original 7 for that build-up of finding out that Cloud thinks he's Zack.
So
there's very sparse moments, and you mostly have to hunt them down yourself. Like, you could avoid going to Cloud's house or going to Zack's house and having those mental episodes.
Yes. It really, in the original game, it's only when... I don't even remember where they are when Cloud...
Finds out the truth.
But because I think it's like way towards the end when they go to the planet's core.
Because I didn't hit it, so it's definitely after the temple. Well, duh.
Yeah.
Because everything we just talked about.
Yeah. Because it's only Tifa and Cloud that are there. And she's the one that pulls him out of it and puts him back together again to where it's like to help him through it. You know what I mean?
Motherfucker, this is who you are.
And it's only during all of that that small section of the game that you find anything out about Zack, like at all.
Yeah, so I think that was maybe the goal, is to actually establish Zack.
Especially with how popular of a character Zack has become over the years.
Yeah, Crisis Core did so much for him.
Oh, he's so good. He's a better Cloud in everything. He's just the better character. Cloud is literally nothing without Zack.
It's true, but I still like Cloud. Zack's just a dead guy without Cloud.
And Cloud is a nobody.
Just like Angeal is nobody without Zack. They're each carrying on each other's legacies.
Yes. Well,
the Buster Sword is the real main character of Final Fantasy VII.
It really is. But no, it's because at least with Angeal, he would have just been a soldier.
I fucking hate Angeal, by the way. Sorry.
He would have just been a soldier that just succumbed to degradation. Yeah. But then everything, because Cloud was a shit soldier that he was not a good fighter.
He was literally a grunt.
He was a grunt dude that had no real combat experience, nothing. everything he knows about combat he got from Zack's memories.
Yeah.
His entire fighting style, everything he knows about Soldier came from Zack. Everything of his being, because Zack was what he wanted to be and failed at being.
Well, some of what he knows of Soldier came from Zack, because he was also there at the reactor stuff too.
No, I mean of what he knows about
being in Soldier.
Being in Soldier, like knowing. But there's also things about Zack's life that he doesn't like. And Jill and Genesis are never brought up.
Of course not, because they didn't exist until Crisis Core.
Yeah, but even in other, like, things after Crisis Core that they put in there.
Yeah.
But you're right. That's just a dumb thing for me to say too.
I'm sorry. It's so true, though.
It's so true. But anyway, the game is fantastic.
I do plan to play it someday.
Dude.
Literally because of Red 13.
I had to put it on easy.
Did you?
Yeah, for a fight. Because, as you know, I'm a humongous fan of Gilgamesh.
Yes.
I fucking love Gilgamesh. And there was no way I wasn't going to fight him in this game. And where you go to fight him, you have to, like, I don't want to say maybe prove yourself, but you have to, like, what they call temper the Genji armor. And so you have to fight some of your summons, right? So, the first fight wasn't too bad. It was Titan and Shiva? Or Titan? You know, actually, I don't remember who was with Titan. But it's you're fighting two summons at a time. So the first one, not too bad. I beat it all right. But then the second two fights have gimmicks to them. So it's Phoenix with Kujata. And the thing with Kujata is he cycles between 3 elemental affinities. And, like, it's obvious which one because he's on fire, he's on ice, or he's electrified for the 3. And when he goes through each of the cycles, right, once he attunes to each one and goes through all of them, he'll do Tri-Disaster.
Oh, boy.
And I've lived one time through it. So it's basically a wipe. But the problem is, Phoenix is just flying around being a nuisance and takes literal 0 damage from everything you do. But if you kill Kujata, it took me like my third time. He'll do Flaming Rebirth and res it. Back to full health, mind you. And it takes quite a while for you to kill him. So, but I figured out that, so all you have to do is, so I was like, okay, maybe I have to kill Phoenix first. So I'm fighting Phoenix. It's not doing anything. I'm like, okay, so I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. So eventually, I figured it out. And what you have to do is kill Kujata, but then Phoenix will try to keep doing. He'll do like some other stuff first.
But you have to get in damage in between resurrections.
You have to. It's basically. I used a Braver to do it. So, because Braver does a lot of. You basically like stunning him, like interrupting him. So you basically just have to go fucking hard, just like dump everything you can on Phoenix while he's trying to do that, and you'll basically kind of like stun lock him in that spot, and that's how I killed him. Nice. But the next fight is the fucking bullshit one. You have to fight Odin and Alexander at the first together. Fighting
the castle and its greatest warrior.
I put it on easy mode, and I was going through. I was like, "There's no way I could have beat this." Beating Alexander by himself was hard enough when I did that because he stands still at the edge of the thing, but there's so much AoE that goes out. It's ridiculous. And then eventually he'll do Judgment Ray that is almost a one-shot too.
Yeah.
But he's not the problem. Odin is the fucking problem. Because Odin will cast Zansetsuken at some point if you don't do what is needed to stop it. Yeah. And that is 1,000,000,000% unavoidable death. He does Zansetsuken after you get hit enough times by him. But that's everyone in your party. So it's almost like it's better to fight him solo so you can dodge all his shit.
Yeah.
Because you can debuff him and that will like bring his meter. So like he's damaging you and it's not a lot of hits, bro.
Yeah.
It's like 8 hits and then Zensatsuken. Of anything that he's doing too. Not specific hits, just him damaging you.
Yeah. Instances of damage.
Yes. So you can like debuff him to kind of counteract that, but then he's hitting your party members and you have Alexander. So it's ridiculous.
Too much.
But at least when I win, I don't know if it's because I was on easy that it changed it, but you do enough damage to him and then he leaves and then it just lets you fight Alexander until you kill him and then Odin came back. So I tried. It was infuriating and I couldn't. I'm sorry. I'm not afraid to admit that.
Fake gamer.
I could not beat it. But Gilgamesh, let me tell you, that was a fun as fuck fight.
Good.
Struggled took me like 4 tries to beat him too. Because he's the same way as he was in 13-2. You do next to no damage to him when he's not staggered. It's all about when he's staggered, but it takes like 4 staggers to get him. And then that last one, when he finally, because you start and he's just like, cool weapons, a spear. I'm going to take out this axe.
Yeah.
Here's a Buster Sword looking thing. And then he takes out the mighty sword, Excalibur. And then he hits you with it and does 1 damage. And he's like, this is Excalibur. But then, it's not that he does 1 damage with Excalibur. He does instances of 1 damage because he'll do this one move that leaves you. It's killed me before or left me with really low health. But he does something to you, and the amount of 1s that stack up on you is what your HP pool is.
Jesus.
I'm like, oh, cool.
Maybe miss Gilgamesh and Dissidia pulling out the random weapons.
But then he does get Excalibur. And let me tell you, when he does get that, the amount of tomfuckery that he throws around this arena when you fight him is honestly just badass. But I was able to get the W after, like I said, 4 or 5 times. The soundtrack to the fight was glorious. The arena is all like it's like a Japanese sand garden.
Ooh.
Do you know what I'm talking about? Where they have like the temples with like the typical the whole island that you find them is all Japanese themed. You got the torii gate, huge torii gates and shit, and it's all that fenced in area. But like you've seen those sand gardens where they have the rocks in the middle and it's all sand everywhere.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
I think so.
It was in one of those where you fight them, and it's at night and the full moon is out, and it's just like the what do you say the stage and the aesthetic was just it's perfect.
Beautiful.
It was so good. They also hint afterwards that they're like, oh, he might be an ally. So I think if I were to beat some of the hard mode trials that they put in it, that I didn't do all of them. I just didn't care. But I think if you beat all of those, it kind of alluded to that you might be able to get him as a summon. I was like, that's kind of cool. But then at that point, there's no one to use him on.
Typical Square Enix stuff.
Yeah. So, great game. Like, again, same thing though with like Remake. Any problems that anyone would have would be in Remake would be the last 5 minutes.
Nomura shows his ugly hand.
Would be in the last 5 minutes of Remake, but with Rebirth, it'd be like the last 20 because that last final boss section is way longer in Rebirth than it is. Like, it's just you fight Sephiroth and then there's a cutscene that you have a problem with. But in this one, it's like multiple boss fights between all the groups. It's going back.
Pretty much the whole
forth.
temple section.
The temple after that, because there's the Cetra temple and then there's the hidden capital that Aerith knows where it is that they go to. That point. So again, last 30 minutes of the game.
Yeah.
But still a great game. Definitely recommend it to any Final Fantasy fan in general because it's just so good. But moving on from Final Fantasy.
Kagurabachi!
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 This chapter was pretty dope.
Yes.
Let me pull up the chapter so I know what I'm fucking talking about. There was something specific, too, that I saw that I was like, ooh, I like that. I do like the inner monologue that Mr. Shiba was having to himself, this, like, whole chapter in the car.
I'm shocked. It gives me the chills.
Yeah, you're right. In this little diagram, he does have both hands.
Yeah, so cute.
I'm just like, now, anytime I see Chihiro, I gotta like pay attention to his hands, see if they're back or not.
Yeah, I'm kind of scrolling back through, but it's hard to tell in a car.
Literally, his hands just aren't drawn at all. This is the only one, and it's the other hand. One of his hands aren't on screen. Top right, top left, right hand.
Oh, okay. I was about to say that's clearly Mr. Shiba's hand, but now I see what you're talking about. It looks kind of missing. I don't know. I'm like zooming in, and it does look kind of floppy.
Could also just be like behind his back. Just
Yeah.
again, I don't remember how much of the arm he lost. Was it at the elbow
Thing.
or at the shoulder?
I think it was at the shoulder, but I don't know for sure.
I'm gonna go through the last chapter when he was fighting. Yeah, it doesn't look like it. Anything there.
We do get the explanation of like what the goldfish are good for and what they
Oh,
are.
yeah, right here. It's gone.
Yeah, it's
It's
just
just
a lot of floppy.
Yeah, it's the sleeve. Arms don't bend like that. Same with this one, too.
Yep.
But anyway.
So we get an explanation for the goldfish, that he can use them as like recon and has been using them as like recon before he goes into fights.
Yeah, I don't know, like, even if it is recon, it's like, how is he going to use that?
To figure out where it is. Well, if he can find a way out from inside, it would give them an idea. Because they don't know if it's a physical space or not, too. They even bring that up.
Right, because see, what I'm trying to think of is, all right, so he uses it as a recon, but if the fish is just flying around looking, it's like, okay, it's the inside of a warehouse. Like, that doesn't give you anything. You need to see what's on the outside, if he can even get to the outside. If it's not another dimension, you know what I mean? If it's another dimension, you're fucked.
But they'll be able to figure it out through that, at least. There won't be a door.
Right. But say he does get outside, how far away can this thing get from the sword or from Chihiro?
Well,
so they just driving
a sign or like what the outside looks like.
I assume they're driving around in this car through the city trying to get close to the sword, see if you can feel
That makes
it, maybe.
sense too, yeah. Feel its presence.
Because that would be the
way
best
it wasn't
option.
working at first too, and then started working.
See, if I was this guy whose name I keep forgetting.
Chihiro?
No, the dude with the eye mask.
Kiora.
And I had this like other dimension that isn't. Say it's not another dimension. You can't just have some random fucking warehouse downtown.
Yeah, again, I would have a sealed underground bunker.
I was
where
literally just
where
gonna say
the
the same
door
thing.
is sealed behind it. Like you dynamite the tunneled entrance to completely cave it in.
I would put it under his house, like where Chihiro was just fighting them.
Yeah, like the literal like under the basement, like the foundation just a block.
Yeah, because he can obviously teleport in and out of this room, so there's no point to have a real door. Just fucking bury that thing 300 feet underground.
Or hell, right under the auction house. Because if it is a real space, he might have to keep a distance from it too. Like maybe he can't make it work from across the world.
That last double page spread of the auction house was fucking fire.
Yeah, completely fire. It's the only spoiler I got before reading the chapter, because I was just like, man, you're fucking... this guy, when he does backgrounds...
I didn't get a single spoiler for anything this week.
Nice. I got lots of spoilers. I got Kusakabe getting off-screen spoiled for me.
Brutal.
Isn't it? Because they're like, oh, here we go again. I'm like, yeah, as if I didn't see this coming. Who thought Kusakabe was about to win?
Not me.
No.
Unfortunately. Well, not really. I mean, I would actually be quite angry if Kusakabe was the
Kusakabe
one to
swoops
take them.
in, finishes off Sukuna. It was truly our Jujutsu Kaisen.
Anger intensifies. That'd be terrible. Terrible.
Terrible. Pretty sure that's everything now, too. Oh, I didn't read Dandadan.
You didn't read it? No! My high fantasy loving ass loved this fucking chapter.
I know I saw a page from it.
Oh my god, it was so fucking good. I totally see what you were saying last week too now about Zuma and her being like
him being like her old taste in men.
yes. The way, because like there's a single panel. I don't think I took a screenshot of that. I took a screenshot of the fucking one of the double parade spreads. That's for damn sure.
Don't make me look again. Thank God.
Oh, I did take a picture of it. Dude, it's just like I look at this page. I'm not going to spoil it to you. I'm not going to show you. I'm going to let you get to it. Because it's literally the second to last page, I think, or third to last page. And I just look at this and I'm like, how the fuck did this dude draw this, just this image alone? In
The first page alone. Fucking army.
So we paused real quick so that he could read Dandadan.
Banger.
So now we're going to talk about it.
Banger.
But I love how I saw it coming. This is like, it was so obvious that Momo was going to cheat. And then also that it would know that
I
she
loved how
cheated.
cute they looked while cheating.
Like this picture right here.
I loved that page. Zuma's face is priceless.
When he goes to roll the dice, and I'm like, yes, I see it now. Not that I didn't see it before, but. And then, like I said, my high fantasy loving ass. This double page spread at the end when the two armies meet, and there's an eagle and a dragon. Momo wearing a wizard outfit.
I actually like the health bars this time around too.
Well, I mean, they're in the game, so
yes.
It just fits. So it's just, I know we say it all the time, but I just love that he implements just all genres of everything. It's just, this is his manga, and anything that he wants to draw, he finds a way to draw.
Loch Ness Monster, sandworms straight out of fucking Dune, fucking Jumanji, but it's also medieval fantasy.
But then also fighting fucking, like...
A giant chef in Candyland.
Yes, the fucking, like,
it's like a love
Alice in
letter to
Wonderland.
all board games.
I'm just like, this is just... it's so good.
Super good.
I just loved this chapter. And then even when like the strategy that they were going on too, like through the fight, I was like, this is just like a strategy game right now, and it's just.
Keep paying to say it. I like Zuma.
I do too, and he's probably. I don't know if he'll end up as one of the main cast, because the main cast is already getting quite large.
I think it's one of those things where they can take certain party members to certain things. It's going to get to that point.
But the problem with Zuma's power is he can only use it twice with the two umbrellas.
For now.
Like you said last week's chapter.
Gigi went from only being able to fight while transformed to shooting Kameo waves, so.
True. Because it's like the main four are still like Gigi, Momo, Ken, and Girlie.
It's been a while. I actually don't remember her name right now.
Ha ha! Vindication!
No, I still like her.
Not enough to remember her name. But the four of them are just like the main powerhouses at this point. So I don't know what Zuma would add to the group. You know
Umbrellas.
what I mean? But I mean, at the same time,
Ira. I was looking it up, but I actually remembered before I reached it in my research.
But at the same time, having more allies to deal with Saint Germain.
Nah, Saint-Germain.
Saint-Germain. Obviously evil dude.
The man who obviously caused all this.
Yes.
A stranger, I can't quite remember what they looked like.
Because that's not fishy or anything. I also just now yesterday, because I saw you post on Twitter, watched the actual trailer with the voice actors.
Oh, the
for
new
Dandadan,
yes,
for Dandadan.
the subtitled one.
Yes.
This is finally put out a subtitled one.
Well, I didn't even watch the one that had voices in it. I don't. No, I think I did because I think I was complaining that I didn't feel like it fit Momo very well.
Yeah.
But this time around, I watched it. And I was like, the Momo voice, Ken's voice works pretty well. Sapporo's voice though, hit for me this time.
Yeah.
And Turbo Granny's, I was like,
Turbo Granny's perfect.
Turbo Granny's perfect. So I'm like, but it's not until October, right?
Yeah.
Shot to the heart.
We have Kaiju very soon, though.
2 weeks?
I think so.
Yeah, I know, because everything ended. Free Ren. No. See, I don't. See, I could. Because
April 13th.
the web browser for Viz has Free Ren on it. For the Shonen Jump web browser option has Free Ren on it. But one, I don't know how far ahead the manga is, like how deep into it goes. I don't even know if it's finished. It could be finished for all fuck I know. But this is an anime that I'm not sure if the manga would be a better avenue of consumption, if that makes sense. I feel like
Oh, I saw someone enjoying the manga on Twitter, at least.
yeah, but I don't know, because it's like
There,
obviously I'm talking about my ass here because I haven't read the manga, so I don't really have a right to compare the two. But just the way the anime does things to me is like makes it special. You know what I mean? Everything culminating together to make what Free Ren was, and I'm just like,
it looks like roughly 120 something chapters right now.
did you just Google how many chapters or?
Yeah, and well, I had to go through a list of the current volumes to actually get the number.
Oh, you're just on the Viz website?
No, I'm on the fucking Wikipedia.
Oh.
The last volume came out April.
Of last year?
Oh no, the upcoming volume.
Oh.
It's going to be April 17th, apparently, 2024. So it's probably still going.
I would say so. But I'd have to just maybe. I mean, there's other things that I should be reading first anyway.
Like Tokyo Ghoul.
And Tenji Tenge.
Tokyo Ghoul, so that you can start Trojan X.
But the problem with Tokyo Ghoul and Tenji Tenge is I got like 20 to 30 chapters of each.
Yeah, but you just reread Solo Leveling.
Hey, I'm further.
So
I'm still reading it too. I actually read a few chapters the other day. I'm further along now than I was.
I'm just saying, 20 to 30 chapters is nothing compared to rereading up to where you were.
Yeah, I'm on like 130.
Yeah, so that's nothing.
Well, I mean, you know how I get. When I go through my binge cycles, I'll just fucking spend like 6 hours straight consuming one. Right?
Speaking of binge cycles, homework. 3 Sakamoto chapters.
Okay.
For next week.
I watched all of Shangri-La Frontier.
Nice.
Yesterday.
Damn.
Not just yesterday, but Saturday too. After I beat... So Saturday... Was it Saturday or Sunday that I was playing Kena Bridge of Spirits?
Hell if I fucking know.
I don't remember either. So I beat Rebirth Friday night. Either Saturday or Sunday morning, I played some video games. I played like 15 minutes of like 3 different games. And I was in that post beating a game void blues. So nothing was hitting for me. So I decided to watch some anime. So on Saturday, I watched a bunch of Shangri-La Frontier. And then yesterday I watched a bunch more. I'm on episodes like 21.
Damn.
Out of potentially 25, I think is going to be 24 or 25, because I know it was a 2-core, like 2-season thing. It's pretty good. I know you had talked about it, that you were...
I was interested.
I think it's good.
We did me and my partner did try out 2 different animes that I forgot to even mention on this podcast.
Oh.
Yeah, one was an isekai, which just reminded me how much I despise isekai. And despite it being so uniquely tailored to both of us, we both couldn't stand it.
What is it?
I think it was literally called Fluffy Isekai. It's a woman dies of overwork or just being exhausted, dies, immediately wakes up in another world. Like, this is like the first fucking 5 minutes of the show. It establishes her dying and coming back in another world as like a little girl. She's supposed to like decide the fate of humanity, and she has like the power. The goddess even asks her, it's like, you can have one ability, what will it be? It's to pet fluffy things. It just comes off so contrived and stupid.
It sounds horrible.
It was pretty bad. So she could pretty much like make animals happy.
And somehow that makes her the most powerful person on the planet.
She literally tamed a dragon already in like the first episode, I think it was. So, like, she comes upon a dragon and she's like, will you let me pet you? He's like, that's acceptable. And she's like, oh, this is wonderful. I'll stop terrorizing. Goodbye. I'm just sitting I'm like, it's you set up as a story about like, I don't know, animal cruelty and if humans should be alive. It just comes off as this really, really boring, awful wish fulfillment.
Gross.
The second one we watched was Delicious in Dungeon, because I keep seeing fucking posts about the manga and it keeps getting hyped up and the anime gets hyped up. Also couldn't watch a second episode of that. That one's not an isekai, but it's so drenched in that same fantasy setting that my partner actually forgot it's not isekai. Because when I brought it up, it's like the supermarket.
So depressing?
It is.
Especially for a fantasy lover on my side, that it's just like, why do we got to keep making isekais to be fantasy? Why can't you just make a fucking fantasy show?
It's really, literally ruining fantasy at this point. If I'm at the supermarket and I'm like, oh yeah, we started Delicious in Dungeon, we should watch more of these. Like, the isekai of it though. And like literally 8 days later, I'm walking the dog, I was like stopped, I'm like, that wasn't an isekai. Literally like days later, I'm like, huh. But it's a guy who's like weirdly fetishized, I don't want to say obsessed, but kind of obsessed, but fetishizes the idea of eating monsters. And it's kind of like one day he gets the excuse to kind of take the mask off and just say it and suggest it.
Yeah.
Because, like, it starts out with their party failing against a monster and one of their party getting eaten, but, like, a few of them escape, and he's like, we gotta go back for her. We gotta go back for that person, but we're poor. We're super poor. Again, this weird contriving to get to the point of the show where they're just like, everything funnels us to this point of the show. Why do I have to eat monsters? Because we're poor. We're going to sell our gear to even, like, afford food. Like, it's like every moment is just reminding me that this show has to be about the premise. But far be it. They come to the dungeon, it's like, here's our plan. We kept as much equipment as we could, sold what we needed for necessities. We'll get all our food from the monsters we kill. But it's really
Sounds
like
good for the main character.
Exactly. It's just like, again, the kind of the mask off moment where he's like, I can actually just do the thing I want to do, which is eat monsters. It's so weird because he also like finds a cookbook for killing monsters and someone that's like actually done it before, so he's kind of like teaching him, like, this is how you prepare like the scorpion monster. It's so good, it's perfect.
Also sounds terrible.
It feels really terrible, but I keep seeing it hyped up, like every fucking week.
I have no idea what it is.
I've seen a panel of, it's actually a pretty sexy panel of him like subduing a winged lion and biting its neck from on top of it while also naked and has wings sprouting out his back. And I'm like,
that's definitely got to be one of those like dream moments or something. There's no way that fucking happens.
No,
Watch it actually happen.
It does actually seem to happen. Because I've seen a lot of pictures of this winged lion now.
See, my thing is, because I know you were interested in Shangri-La Frontier.
I was. Probably more than both of these other things.
But it's a video game.
Yes, which at least excuses being, like,
video gaming.
Yeah. So that's the winged lion, apparently normal form, and this is him kind of after a mask off moment himself where he's like, I'm the bad guy. This is what I'm gathering from people hyping and sharing panels. Wish I could find the panel. Well, there's a panel.
Oh my god.
Nope.
No.
I'll find it. Oh, wait. There we go. A little blurry to see, but it's literally just him like...
It serves the purpose. Damn.
And that has done so much work at making me want to like this anime. Because there's something there to it. I also, while looking up the winged lion, just because he's kind of sexy, I found like panels of him like talking to the guy about being like, you know, you might just sympathize with monsters more and like fantasize or romanticize them more because you just hate people. Have you ever thought of that? So like there's themes there. I just wish I could penetrate through this weird fantasy brick wall that keeps hitting me. The weird setups where everything in like the first 30 minutes has to be like this really contrived reason for the show to be the way it is.
Huh.
In the same way Mirai Nikki, Future Diary I'm citing here, has to bend over backwards to set up its battle royale. It's literally God picking who's going to succeed God. Like, you know what I mean? I hate that feeling now. Where they're like being forced into the premise.
Yeah.
It's weird. The only word I have for it's contrived. Like, why are they eating monsters? Because they're both poor, lost their party members, sold their equipment, have nothing else spare to sell for food, and have to go back.
Sounds a lot.
All established in like a 25-minute episode.
Like you said, sounds like a lot of excuses
A lot of bending over backwards, yeah.
To get this guy to eat something that in a world full of monsters should be normal.
And after the isekai boom and all of the sub-isekai genres that have come, I'm just really tired of excuses. Just want an organic feeling story, god damn it.
Right.
Instead of someone that came up with a premise and now has to like somehow create a logic for their premise to actually happen.
Watch Free Run.
Right? that sounds organic. Everything about Free Run is what I'm asking for from fantasy.
So good.
I just don't watch TV on my own. I don't do it ever. So I still haven't finished part 3 of JoJo's.
But then again, too, would your partner be interested in Shangri-La Frontier?
I tried. I did try, because I brought it up. I'm like, birdhead person. But then I say MMO, and I can feel, the detachment. Isekai's done so much damage.
It has. And it's too, though, because it's like, I was thinking about this yesterday, too. It's like, I wouldn't call it a Shangri-La Frontier an Isekai.
It's not, but
I would call
it's too close an association.
Yeah. You know what it is, too? It's because it's so close to SAO, which is considered also an isekai, but I'm like, at least with, because the old school isekai used to be like trapped in another world was the whole isekai thing.
Yeah, now
it's just
it's wish fulfillment.
Go into another world in any way. So that means a lot of things fall into the isekai bracket, but they're not trapped there. Because like Shangri-La, this dude, you see him almost every episode outside of the game in his normal everyday life as well. You see the character behind the bird mask.
Which is also, again, why the part that made Shangri-La Frontier sound so fucking good is that the stakes didn't have to go through the roof right out the gate.
There are no
literally
stakes. It's just they're playing a game. The only he is a trash game player. He plays shit games that have uber bugs that nobody likes.
Charlie.
Yeah. And I thought the same thing. One of the games, though, sounds so fun to play. But also kind of not at the same time that they played. But he's met some people through that. So he's like, he has the same username and everything.
Yeah.
So he goes to a game store in the first episode. He's like, I beat this trash game. You got any others? And they're like, well, why don't you play a god tier game for once? And they're like, the newest, hottest
MMORPG.
So he's like, whatever, fuck it, I'll give it a shot. So he plays it, and he gets kind of attached to it because of the fact that it's so good compared to everything he's ever played. And he's just kind of having fun. And he found a unique event that nobody else... Because the game is so big, there's so many things in the game, even though it's been out like a whole year or whatever in the premises. There's things in the game even the players haven't found yet. He stumbled on one because of his trash game mentality. He farmed the first monster that he saw to get the weapon because he thought the weapons looked cool.
Well, that actually made me think of how still no one's found the cow level in Diablo 4. It probably exists right now.
Probably.
Based on the investigation, someone has one of the items that was data mined to be the component to get to the portal. And a lot of the theories people had of how you would get to that point came out true. Kill cows.
Go kill some cows then.
A lot of the hints, someone found a fountain in Diablo 4 that had an inscription of lay down your tainted items here and it'll cleanse them, and that's where you cleanse the items that presumably will make the cow portal.
Interesting.
So the pieces are there, but still no one's done it.
I'm sure someone will figure it out at some point, or never.
It's the time commitment, really. You have to kill 666 cows per a summoning item, and you need 3, I believe. Yeah, it's 666 cows in 3 different regions.
That's a lot. Or at least that's what people assume.
Yes. Well, I think they got 1 to drop after killing 666 cows.
Brutal.
But still, the point remains that, a long time can pass and there will be plenty of secrets still in a game. This is absolutely possible, even for an MMO.
Mm-hmm. So, in this one, Shingawara, he's basically just playing it for funsies the first couple of episodes. But then he meets a character in it that he knows from a different game. Because someone took a screenshot of him with a unique NPC. So now everyone wants to know what the fuck's up with the unique NPC that he's traveling with. So, PKers come after him, and they plan to, spawn kill him until he gives them information. And, all the shit, but one of the PKers he knows from a different game. So they're laughing about it, and she's still going to be like, I'm still going to fucking take you out. I want to know what's going on here. And, but then he gets away from that. And one of his other friends is playing the game, but is a couple levels behind him in a few cities, and he's a pro gamer. He plays trash games and god games.
Yeah.
Period. So the 3 of them meet up somewhere because the girl wants to take down a unique monster, and no one in the game has beaten any of the 6. And they can only be beaten once. Once it's beat, it's beat.
They die.
Yeah. So they hatch a strategy to then go take out one of these monsters.
Nice.
And that's basically what is the rest of the series so far that I've seen. That happened an episode ago, so I don't know what they're going to do for the last 4 episodes of the show. But
I dig it.
So it's pretty good. The fucking fight animation is pretty spot on. I was not expecting it right out the gate in episode 1. When he fought some bunnies, I was like, damn, these bunnies go hard. But again, there is video game screens everywhere because they're in a video game.
I'll take it. Again, they're in a video game.
Yes, it's not.
It's where they belong.
It's not in a fantasy world. That is not a video game. So I think of anything else that I've watched recently, but I don't think there's anything. Just know that the new season's starting up soon. Not this coming weekend, I don't think. But next week. should be the roll in of some of the new series, the starts of the new season. So Mushoku Tensei, My Hero, Spice and Wolf, Kaiju number 8, and I think there was another big name that's this season too that I'm just forgetting at the moment. But there's a lot of them, and I'm like, I'm here for it.
You're ready.
I am ready. Give it to me.
I'll be watching Kaiju.
Oh, me too, 100%. And Spice and Wolf, and Mushoku Tensei. And My Hero. Gotta see fucking Stars and Stripes.
Yes. Maybe I will watch My Hero.
Maybe. You're not too far behind anyway if you wanted to just skip it or fucking binge it. And I think you could probably binge what's left in a sit-in. From what you have left. You probably only have like 6 episodes left of whatever the fuck season was last season, 5 or whatever the last season was.
Sorry, I'm reading up on something really quick.
Anything good?
I'm seeing if anyone actually found the cow level yet.
Oh.
Because I haven't looked into the situation since that update, and that update was a while ago.
What's the prognosis? What were the cow levels in other games? You just go into this portal and there's just a bunch of cows there?
Yeah, it is. In Diablo 2, it was literally a green hellscape with bipedal cows with axes, just hordes of them that would come towards you.
And you just killed a bunch of them? Is it possible to kill all of them?
It was like great loot. And yes, I do think you can clear the whole map. I'd have played the Diablo 2 cow level on the easiest difficulty in the game. Because it's one of those ones where you have to beat the difficulty to move up to the next, kind of like Borderlands. Mm-hmm. You move up to badass mode and
True Vault Hunter.
Yeah.
And all that, yeah.
So it was kind of like that. So I only fought like the easiest version of the cow level, but it was still fun. Defeat all the cows in the final.
Probably somebody out there that's already done it that just don't care for the fame and just haven't announced that they've done it.
True. Then I can't believe that person would be that way. This is a long ass article. God, this is like so many goddamn steps to this fucking bullshit.
Or so many presumed steps.
Well, no, they've gotten a lot of these already. Like, they got the 3 unique items that were cleansed, which got them a key to a place that has more cows, killed all the cows. The last cow dropped a stamina potion, which is a Diablo 2 item. Apparently, they're trying to figure out what to do with the stamina potion now.
So, they're on the track, but they just haven't...
They're still putting some pieces together. Because each time they get a new item, it's a whole new question. Like, when they got the key from cleansing the relics, it's like, well, now where do we bring this fucking key?
See, I do like that kind of stuff. Like, I wish that more games would do stuff like that. But not just, like, one thing, you know? Just put, like, 4 of those kind of things in the game.
I think, I said this to my partner today, actually, where I thought one of the best things about Cyberpunk, and there's another example I had, and Elden Ring, is that so much of the content is missable, which makes finding things feel more valuable. Mm-hmm. The fact that you can miss quest lines or parts of quest lines and those people die in Elden Ring, or the fact that that guy I found out in the middle of a dumpster area who crashed the whole internet in the lore for Cyberpunk, these are all things you can miss. And it's what makes it feel special.
You know what other game does that you've stopped playing? Baldur's Gate 3.
Yes, very much so. I need to get back on it.
My wife's played like 3 playthroughs at this point.
I had to delete it for now because it's like...
It's a big game. It's 110 gigs or something like that.
It's fucking brutal.
I deleted it too, but I'll probably...
Temporarily.
I'll download it again for another playthrough in the future. I mean, I got the credits, so... I'll get like other endings, like the ending I got it's just okay. I mean, I could have done some. I could have saved more people with my ending. I'll say that, because I mean, obviously, your choices will affect different people's outcomes and story endings. And I'm like, now that I know what I know, I can save more people. But then I also kind of want to do a Dark Urge and just like
kill all the people.
Kill all the people. We'll see what happens.
Absolutely.
My wife only plays the Dark Urge one now. This is her second playthrough, and just all of her new playthroughs are all the Dark Urge.
So it's kind of like, why not?
She likes it because she says it just adds stuff to everything. But then also she has mods, so there's that too. Like turning into the giant monsters is part of the fucking Dark Urge anyway. But she also turns into a giant werewolf and just like mauls people to death like so easily. It's like, so you have no difficulty in combats.
I need to get back on that, but I want to get to beating more games. I say as live services drown me.
Mm-hmm. You know, the game is staring at me in the face longingly. Yakuza Like a Dragon.
Yes.
It's still right there at the very end of my library, right before it would teeter.
I know you'll get to it, though. The same way you came back around for Kina, I know you'll come back around and finish that. Probably before I do.
Probably. But we'll see, because I'm drawn in just as much as you, just in single-player games, not in live service, because I still plan at some point to get Dragon's Dogma 2 and Grand Blue Fantasy Ringlink, but I also still have Persona 3, which I'm only 32% in, and I'm 51 hours into that fucking game. Then I also have Stellar Blade coming in.
It's true, I have less games that I want to buy,
and then,
at least.
All of this free time I have, look at all of this glorious free time I have that I complain that I don't actually have. Come June, all of it goes away, because then my MMO comes back into my life.
Yep.
Because 14's expansion is in the end of June 20th. And then my free time is really gone with the wind. Because I've been wanting to play, but there's nothing
to do.
I've done everything. Just, I don't raid anymore, so it's like, and at this point, the player base count is low, which is expected at this point stage. So it's like even trying to find a party in Party Finder to do anything.
Patch cycle at the end of an expansion cycle.
Yeah,
it's gonna be the lowest it ever could be.
Yeah, Party Finder's numbers are quite low at the moment, so I log in to keep my house.
Smart.
Occasionally, I did a dungeon the other day, and I log in for events like I logged in for the Valentine's Day event, so I did that, and then there was another event that just happened too. That I think there was a mount to it too that I got, so it's like, oh well, I need to get the mounts. And the 16 events around the corner too, so there'll be some stuff to do, but there's a lot of games that I have on my playlist too. Yakuza. One of the Star Oceans I still have in my system.
That's why I call it my live services specifically, because I'm specifically playing games that I can't beat.
Predecessor, Apex.
Not Apex.
You're not playing Apex anymore?
Not playing Apex. I actually haven't for like 2 seasons now, I want to say. I've been off the juice. I mean, I still like Apex. It's just like I needed some time away from it.
Well, you're talking about going back to Overwatch too, so
yeah. Now that the heroes won't be locked behind battle passes, and then the Diablo update, I'm actually very interested in. On top of Gigantic's going to be live service, Multiverses is going to be live service, Jump Assemble's going to be live service.
Well, Jump Assemble is a fucking mobile game, so
yes, but I do
you'll be playing that at work.
I do want a capture card because I would love to stream it, but only if I can get on it early. You know what I mean? Like, if it's out for like 5 months before I can get it, like a capture card and a stream setup going, I'm probably not going to stream it.
As you just said, you'd play it at work, but now that I think about it, you probably couldn't play that at work.
No, I actually specifically tried playing MOBAs at work, and it was a bad choice.
Yeah. Because you play turn-based, like Fate or
Marvel Snap.
Could you play Marvel Snap?
Yeah. Yeah, because you play your turns at the same time, but it's still turns. Like, you still lock in your decision, wait for them to lock in theirs, and then the things happen, and then you set up your next turn.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very easy to do Marvel Snap. Because it's also not like Magic where I'm sitting there in like a 30-minute match. I have to counter your spells and block your attacks. No, it's at most 5 minutes maximum. And you just set your decisions down. They happen. You set up your next turn. They happen. There's no like Phoenix Wright. But wait a minute. You activated my trap card and I have a quick cast spell card. There's none of that shit. So it's actually the only game I can play at work.
Well then.
Because the Risk of Rain game's not going to be any better for that either. I'm just going to look away at the customer, look down, and I'll be instantly dead.
Well, woe is us drowning in games.
Yeah, I'm going to be really sad when I'm playing a mobile game at home. Like when I go to sit down on the couch, it's time to game, and I whip out Jump Assemble. Not that we haven't done it. We played Mobile Legends before.
We have, yes, which we have both just completely stopped playing entirely. But yeah, I don't know. We played a bunch of games. I got my fix for Zhulong of just stomping on people, and then I stopped playing.
For me, I got my fix, and then Jump Assemble was announced, and I'm like, I would rather play this with a Shonen Jump skim painted over it.
I tried that anime one you recommended too. I was like, I'll play a little
I wish
bit
it
of
was
it.
more active. It had such a great art style and snappiness to it.
It did, but then, like you said, just nobody plays it. So it's
No.
just about AIs always, and just like.
And that's why I'm going to be so hardline on supporting Jump Assemble, because I don't want this fucking to get there. I don't think it will, because it's Shonen Jump. But I also am wondering how much of an overlap the Shonen Jump fan base has with MOBA players. Because it's a very specific audience on the MOBA players side.
Yes, and also gotcha elements.
Kid, every Japanese mobile game's that way. That won't stop the Shonen Jump people from entering the MOBA space. The gameplay will.
The good gameplay. There's going to be a lot of bad players.
That's what I mean. Those bad players
teammates.
are going to be the ones that hopefully quit. But hopefully don't, because I want a player base.
Yes. So keep them in
I need
bronze
people
while you're
that are
up in
willing
fucking...
to suffer through learning a MOBA.
Yeah, but it's a mobile MOBA too. It's not in depth as fucking console or PC MOBAs.
But it's also not that instant gratification that I think a lot of gamers like. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of investment into a match.
True.
Hopefully the Shonen Jump skin can carry it.
It probably will for a time. But it's going to come down to gameplay and how good the game is to retain
And how good the
those.
support is too.
To retain those people.
Because a lot of games die by their balance patching.
Or by how bad the monetization is.
Yes. Well, again, you can say that, but every Hoyoverse game does well.
You're right.
Even the worst Hoyoverse clones do well. Like, Tower Fantasy, while no one plays it, it still exists. It still makes money.
True. There's whales for everything.
There is whales for everything.
But I think it's a good place to end it.
Yeah, absolutely. This has been the Dukes of Weebdom.
Dukes of Weebdom! Take care, y'all. Bye.
Bye.